Hello, I'm Julian Fellowes. Welcome to another Fireside Chat, where we're celebrating the upcoming release of Downton Abbey, A New Era. As today is the last of this series of talks, I'm dedicating it to answering your questions. Be sure to watch until the very end of this episode. I have a surprise in store. We've asked you to submit your questions, so let's get started. The family was inspired for me by a real-life family where there were just daughters and the heir was the son of a second cousin, and he had to come into this setup and take over an estate and run it and so on, and you had all these resistances from particularly the elder daughter, because of course for the younger ones it didn't make much difference to them either way, but the elder one it was quite hard to deal with. So that was how they came about. I think they're doing pretty well. I think Rose was another kind of free spirit. I mean, for me, Rose and Mary are people who didn't want to live outside society. They weren't Sybil. They didn't want to go off and be rebels and give it all up and live away from their own kind and all the rest of it. They wanted to remain there, but they wanted to do things their own way and have their own lives. Atticus is, I forget now actually, I think he was a banker. But anyway, he was something perfectly respectable that took them to America. And I think they're having a nice life. I'm sure they've got 3 or 4 children. They're doing interesting things. I don't think we have to worry about them one bit. Yes, you will see quite a lot of Cora and Robert in the new movie, and I think they're both very good in it. And there's one scene particularly that I was really, really pleased with. I thought they did it marvelously. I think Robert's career wouldn't have been very different, actually. I think he would have been in the army, and then he would have given himself to running his estates and running the house. The only thing is, it would have had to be more practical, because they would have needed Downton to generate income, and so he would have been running it as a house open to the public and all the rest of it, much as the present Lord and Lady Carnarvon are doing at Highclere, where we film. Edith would probably or possibly have gone into publishing because it interests her, and she's managed to make it work for her even with the restrictions of that period. Mary would be sort of running ICI. I mean, I think those women who were very clever, very good at organization, good at taking responsibility, good at decision making, they were underused by that society. If I'm honest, I don't think that applies to any of them, because what happens when you're writing a series, it's different from a one-off. You're writing to these performances, and so quite deliberately you give them scenes you know they'll do well. You give them a storyline that you know they'll do it so everyone cries, or they'll do it so everyone laughs, or whatever it is that you want from them. And so you're giving them a tailored role all the time that their particular talents will fit. I mean, anyway, that's my intention. If you ask the actors, they'll probably give you a different answer, but that was certainly my plan. And I think, by and large, it worked. I think they were very effective cast, playing stuff they were very, very good at. This wasn't settled from the beginning. Not at all. They were completely separate characters. But there was something about their sort of understanding as they reviewed the events of the day, sitting in Mrs. Hughes' sitting room, or whatever it was, or Carson's pantry. And the players, Phyllis and Jim, had a kind of natural rapport. I felt that naturally the chemistry between Jim and Phyllis was really there. They had a sort of mutual understanding, quite gentle. that grew up, and I felt they should be an item, and then, of course, kicked it off when they went to the seaside and they held hands when they went paddling. And I think from that moment, we knew where they were headed. I'm afraid time is nearly up, but I did promise you a surprise, and here it is. An exclusive new clip from Downton Abbey, A New Era. Thank you so much for joining me on this series. It was lovely to chat with the cast and to answer your questions. We'll do it again sometime soon.
Oh, it was a scavenger hunt, and we needed a chimney pot. But when we got up there, they were huge, so we smashed one and all took a piece.
Oh, was the manager pleased?
Well, it was good publicity.
Is there such a thing as good publicity?
There is if you're in the movies.